I'm working on concentrated solar power, and but I see a very common pattern, that is that people build something like what you see here, which is a nice, maybe it was a satellite dish now covered with small mirrors, and they create it, and they then go, what do I do now? This is a nice unit. According to this picture, it produces 1,500 watts, and that might not be too far off. According to my calculations, it's probably a little bit less because of inefficiency of the mirrors and the fact that it's not covered 100% and it's not focused 100%. But the important part is, of course, now you have 1.5 kilowatts in your garden. What do you do with it? So here's I guess a quick summary of the different types or the different ways in which the heat that is concentrated in the focus of this is a parabolic mirror can be used. There are several, I identified 4 ways. One is you use it directly, like when you use you hang the pan, the cooker in the focus, but you can also reflect it into a furnace, for instance, where you melt metal, steel, or for instance you can make silicon ingots, the ones used for making photovoltaic solar cells, using solar power instead of fossil fuel or whatever other source you're using. And that's not done a lot. It should be of course done, because it makes it a lot cheaper, because the main cost for making solar cells is the electricity used to melt the ingots slowly and to heat it up, because of course solar cells are made of silicon, which is sand. You can find it everywhere. Another way is to transfer the heat. So you basically take the heat from the place where you where it's focused, and you transfer it somewhere else, and then you get heat losses. But there are several ways to do that, and I have some examples. And then a third way is to use the heat to dissociate some kind of chemical. You get a chemical reaction which is assisted by heat. Many of the reactions we see, for instance, burning of oxygen and hydrogen into water. Hydrogen or water will fall apart if you heat it at high enough temperatures. So if you could get that done in your solar collector, and you could prevent a reaction of the two gases again into water, you would have a way to get that energy out, because it's turned into the heat energy has been assisting the chemical reaction. So if the reaction reverses, you get the heat back out of it. And there are several examples of how that's done. And the last one is photocatalysis, which means that you actually use the specific frequency of light to assist in some kind of chemical reaction. So you have to have light. So then if you use that, you have a reactor chamber where you have the light coming in of a certain frequency, and that assists a chemical reaction. This is similar to microwave assisted chemical reactions, which can be very efficient, because microwave, just like light, is electromagnetic radiation, and if you give it the right frequency, you can be very precise in what type of chemical bonds you break, or so that's a very good way to, for instance, take plastic back apart and turn it into oil. You can do that with microwaves very efficiently, so you can make oil out of old plastic. Anyway, water is one of the first. You turn it into steam when it gets hot. The steam can be transported from the focus point to a steam turbine, or drive directly an engine by using the high pressure that it develops. And of course you can also use it to heat stuff directly. So I don't know what you can heat, but that's a very common way to start. You use water, just pipe some water through the focus point and make sure that it gets very hot, and it can get up to 500 degrees. Another one is oil. it also transports the heat, but it can get hotter without evaporating. And again, you use oil mainly to transfer the heat from the collector to the steam turbine setup. So you heat the water with the oil. It's very efficient, of course, because warmth or heat is the lowest type of energy you can have, and you only have to protect against heat losses on the way. You can drive a turbine, an engine, or you can use it to heat your home, for instance, directly. If you have a tank, an isolated tank in your basement with oil, which is very hot, and you pipe the oil through your radiators in your home, you know it will get very warm.